What is up, people, and welcome to the finale of the F1 2009 season here in Rags to Riches 3, the series where we go from one of the worst teams in F1 2009, work our way through all of the F1 Codemasters games and try and get a drive for one of the best teams in F1 2017. But like I say, we're here for the finale of the 2009 season, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. And if you have missed any of the previous episodes so far, go catch up with the card annotation in the top right hand corner of your screens. There will also be a link down in the description below for you guys to go follow as well. So definitely go catch up if you've missed any of those episodes, and then come back to this finale when you get the chance to. But the finale, we are currently sitting P5 in the standings after overtaking Felipe Massa, Nico Rosberg and Kimi Räikkönen at the penultimate round, at the Brazilian Grand Prix. If we have a further look at the standings, we can only really get a Sauber seat or a Toro Rosso seat. We need, though, just to hold on to this position. As long as we beat Felipe Massa, Nico Rosberg and Kimi Räikkönen, or just allow one of those drivers to overtake us in the standings, we will still get a Sauber seat for next season. If you don't quite know the rules of the series, and basically the position that we get in this 2009 season determines who we will drive for in F1 2010. So if we won the championship, we would have got a drive for Williams. Second and third would have been Force India. At the moment, fourth to sixth, that's the Sauber drive. So that's where we are at the moment. We've currently got a Sauber drive for F1 2010. But if we slip down to 7th or 9th, between 7th to 9th, then we have got a drive for Tor Rosso next season. We can't slip down any further than that because Timo Glock cannot catch up to us, and neither can Fernando Alonso. So 8th position is the worst that we can do in the season. So it's only really Kimi Räikkönen, Felipe Massa and Nico Rosberg that can overtake us. But we are determined to try and get a Sauber seat for next year. Let's have a look at the emails, though, going into today's race to see if there's anything different here today. As we look at the race preview for today's race, Gullis predicted for Yas Marina circuit win. Seeing Hayden Gullis on good form this season has made Tor Rosso driver most people's favourite for a win at this weekend's 2009 Formula 1 Etihad Airways Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. I don't know why they put up the whole thing there, but it always makes me want to say it because I'm reading it. Anyway, I'm tipped to win the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. I mean, hopefully we can do so. If we can end this season on a high, then that'd be absolutely incredible. It's been a very, very tricky season this year. There's been a lot of ups and there's been a lot of downs as well, especially that mid-section of the season where we just kept on making mistakes and failing to get into the points. But luckily, it looks like that has been crossed out at the moment after the summer break. And at the moment, we are scoring some pretty decent points for the team. And we will be hoping as well that that can continue here today as we try to solidify P5 in the championship. But without any further ado, let's head over to the final one-shot qualifying session for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Here we go then, one-shot qualifying for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. And let's see what we can do here today. Of course, we haven't driven around this circuit before, so it's going to be very, very difficult to try and get it right. But nice and tidy through turn 1. And it looks like there's not going to be anybody coming out of the pits ahead of us. Hopefully there isn't, which there is not. Good. Because we don't want to get held up like we had at the Brazilian Grand Prix. That was frustrating. But we need to make sure we hook up the rest of this lap as we go through the very tricky chicane there. At the moment, quickest so far through Sector 1, but we need to keep up this momentum. And Mark Webber currently setting the fastest lap time so far. If we can end the season with a pole position, that would be incredible. Of course, we had the one in Germany, we had one in Hungary as well. I think that's the only 2 pole positions we've got this season, so let's see if we can get another one. Here we go then, final couple of corners here at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. It is a lot different compared to the circuit we all know and love at the Abu. Well, I say know and love. A lot of people don't actually love this circuit. But coming across the line, setting a 137.9. That puts us into P4. But like I was saying, this circuit is very, very different to the circuit that we all know on like the F1 2017 game. But anyway, we're up into P4, and it looks like we should be in to Q2. There we go, P6 at the end of the qualifying session, which means that we are in to Q2. So very happy about that. Adrian Sutil, my teammate Sebastian Bourdais, Nelson Piquet, Fisichella and Nakajima all going out in today's session. Can we get into, though, the top 10 shootout? Let's find out. Here we go then, one-shot qualifying here in Q2. What sort of lap time can we set, and can we beat P6 that we got in Q1? Of course, we would like to do so, because that will get us into the top 10 shootout, but let's find out. It's been a very, very good lap so far at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix Q2 session, but at the moment we have got a Ferrari right in front of us, so hopefully he doesn't hold me up, which he has done. Come on, Ferrari, get out of the way. Oh, that's probably slowed me down a little bit, especially through the final corner, but I think it should be enough. We should be able to get into Q3, and yes, we have. New lap record as well, a 1:35.7, so who knows what we could have set if we weren't held up there by that Ferrari. But nevertheless, we are through into Q3. Well, at least we hope so anyway. I don't know anyone will be able to beat that lap time, but let's have a look. Okay, good. No one was able to beat that lap time here at the Q2 session. So, P1 at the end of the day, and that sets us up perfectly to possibly get another pole position in the final round of 2009 season. But Lewis Hamilton, Fernando Alonso, Nick Heidfeld, Heikki Kovalainen, and Robert Kubica all get knocked out in Q2. But what can we do in the top 10 shootout? Will it be a pole position for the final race of the season? Let's find out. Here we go then, one shot qualifying for the top 10 shootout. It is all to play for here today. We could potentially get pole position for the final round of the 2009 season if we play our cards right and if we just make sure that we don't make a mistake on this lap. We've been very quick so far across this weekend, so hopefully this will be the cherry on top here today. But let's just get it nice and tidy through the next couple of corners and let's see what we can do. Okay, only a few more corners left to go here in the final one-shot qualifying session of the 2009 season. Here we go, final corner. That is not a good line through there. That could have thrown it all away, but across the line, it's a 1:36.652. Surely that is not going to be beaten. There's no time left in the session for anybody else to set a lap time. I can still set another lap time, but I'm not going to do so. Going to save the tyres and come back into the pits. But will that be enough for pole position? Yes, it is. Pole position for the final round of the 2009 season. That is the way to do it. And there is only one more thing that we need to do. If we can get a race win here today as well, that would be incredible. An incredible way to end what has been a very mixed season here on F1 2009. We've had a lot of ups, we've had a lot of downs. So if we can end this season with a race win, that will be absolutely incredible. But the starting positions for today's race, I'm lining up in pole position. My third pole position of the season, with Mark Webber in second. Jenson Button will start today's race on the second row of the grid with Sebastian Vettel. Rubens Barrichello is in 5th with Jarno Trulli 6th. There's Nico Rosberg, the first of my championship rivals, in P7 with Massa in 8th and Raikkonen in 9th. So all those three guys very close to each other out on track, with Timo Glock rounding out the top 10. So the only real chance that those guys have of overtaking me in today's race is if, one, I make a mistake. They can certainly do it then. Or two, they do the one-stop strategy. If they do the one-stop strategy and they pull it off perfectly, then they definitely have a good chance of leapfrogging me in today's race. But we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. But without any further ado, let's head over to the final race of the 2009 season. It is, of course, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. It's race day here in Abu Dhabi, the final race of the F1 2009 season. We are starting today in pole position. A fantastic qualifying session got us to the front of the grid, but now we need to have a good race to stay there. 13 laps await us in the desert, and hopefully we can come out of it with a race win and end this season on a high. But the main goal really is to stay ahead of Nico Rosberg, Felipe Massa, and Kimi Raikkonen. If we can do that, then we will come 5th in the championship and we will get a drive for Sauber next season. But without any further ado, let's get this race underway as we go to the lights now. We're going to 5 red lights for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. It is lights out, and away we go for the final time in F1 2009. Mark Webber gets the overtake on us. Oh my God, Mark. What were you doing? What on earth was that from Mark Webber? Literally swiped in front of me. Swiper, no swiping. What on earth was that, Mark Webber? That was dirty. Very, very dirty way to take the lead of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Nevertheless, I'm going to get him back. I'm not going to let that affect me too much. I'm going to come back and I'm going to overtake him and take the race win away from him. But I need to be on my A game today if I want to do so, but I might not have to. Slipstream here today. Here we go on the back of Mark Webber. Moving over to the left-hand side. 220 miles an hour as we overtook him there. And under braking, overshooting the corners. We were carrying a little bit too much speed for my own liking, but nevertheless, job done. And into the lead of the race once again. And now we need to push on from here and try to stay in the lead. Okay, we're doing a pretty good job at the moment in the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. I mean, we're leading the race. We've got a nice gap to Mark Webber and Jenson Button. We're also coming into pits on this lap. So we're doing a really good job at the moment. We've actually got a nice gap. I'm not actually too sure what the gap is to those guys behind me. But so far, it is going really, really nicely as we come into the pits now and get it all slowed down. So this is where we could get caught out. Those guys doing the one-stop strategy could leapfrog us, but the tyres are looking good. They get to just about yellow as we come into the pits, and we're on a pretty good strategy. We're going on to hard tyres for about 5 or 6 laps now, till lap 9, and then we're going for another set of soft tyres till near enough till the end of the race. So a 13.3 second stop at the end of the day. Good pit stop there from the Tor Rosso crew. Just need to be aware of exiting the pit lane, because this could be quite difficult. I'm not too sure whether the game does it for you. No, it doesn't. So we do have to be aware of that. Make sure we don't touch the wall, which I've just done. And we're going to come out in about P6, P7, just behind Nelson Piquet as I bang into the, well, I go across the grass there. I need to be careful of a driver on my right-hand side, which he isn't. The Sauber's actually right behind me, so don't have to worry about that anymore. But the cold tyres caught me out a little bit there as I overshot the corner. Need to be careful of that on this lap. We've got cold tyres at the moment, so don't want to push too hard right now. Of course, Nelson Piquet, we've got plenty of time to overtake him if he is in fact one of those drivers doing the one-stop strategy. So we've got plenty of time to catch up to those guys. We don't necessarily need to do it on this lap. So let's just be patient and catch up to these guys. There's a whole lot of cars crashing into the back of each other going through that corner. I think one of them got me as well momentarily there, but Nick Heidfeld, I just need to keep him behind me and try and catch up to Nelson Piquet Jr. Right, this is the part where I'm actually a lot faster than the AI through these next couple of corners. I'm not going to risk it though up the inside through there, nor am I going to risk it up the inside through this next corner. Like I say, I've got plenty of time. I've got plenty of time to make overtakes around this circuit, so why bother risking it and pushing it up the inside of a barrier and going into the back of Nelson Piquet? No point in me doing that. Piquet not into the pits just yet, which makes me assume that he is on this one-stop strategy, but very slow out of that corner. I get the job done. I go around the outside, and there we go, overtaking Nelson Piquet Jr. Up into P4 now. Fernando Alonso in the other Renault. He is up next, of course. I think we might be in a bit of a battle with the Renaults in terms of Constructors' Championship. They can overtake me, but they have to pretty much get a 1-2. So it's very unlikely that could happen, but the one-stop strategy could really help them out with that. So we do have to be aware still. However, I'm doing a pretty good job catching up to Alonso. I've got past Nelson Piquet, and now let's see what we can do on Alonso. Okay, let's see how much I can catch up to Fernando Alonso through this next section of corners. Like I say, I feel like I'm quite good through this section of corners. So let's just see what I can do on Alonso. That wasn't actually the cleanest. That was really, really bad for myself, I must admit. That wasn't the cleanest I've done through there. But let's see through the next part. Okay, I say let's go catch up to Alonso and then I go make a few mistakes. But nevertheless, he's into the pits anyway. So is Jenson Button. We were running quite a bit ahead of before we came into pits. And Kimi Räikkönen actually leading today's race. So he is going for that one-stop strategy. He could be the man that undoes our plan and stops us from coming P5. That rhymed a little bit there. That's why I laughed. But Kimi Räikkönen, he's up next. We need to catch up to him. We need to go for the overtake. Okay, here we are now on the back of Kimi Räikkönen. He is probably going to be coming into the pits on this lap, which he does. So there we go. Kimi Räikkönen into the pit lane on lap 7. But he's doing the one-stop strategy. We've still got to make one more pit stop on lap 9. So we do have to be aware of whereabouts Kimi Räikkönen does exit the pit lane. So it's all on us now. We need to make sure these next 2 laps are very, very quick out on track to try and make sure we stay ahead of Kimi Räikkönen. What? What? No way has that just happened to us. Oh my god. Out of nowhere. You've got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. What the fuck? What the actual fuck? Literally out of nothing, our engine's just gone. Oh my god. We were doing so well. That was a race win in the bag. And it's all gone. Tor Rosso, no. Oh, what a way. What a way to end the 2009 season with an engine blowout. Oh, with like 4 or 5 laps left to go. Like, honestly, what is the point of doing that race just for our engine to go like that? Out of the race here today. First DNF of the season and of Rags to Riches. And unfortunately, it's come right to the end of the 2009 season. And that could cost us a Sauber seat. Honestly, that could cost us a Sauber seat. Kimi Räikkönen on the one-stop stretch here has got a great chance of winning the race. So he's probably going to move above us. But whereabouts will Felipe Massa and Nico Rosberg finish? Those two guys are vital in terms of whether we stay in a Sauber seat or not. Let's find out. Come on, please. Please, where's... Yes! They didn't score any points. Thank God for that. But Jenson Button is the race winner here today with Sebastian Vettel finishing in second. Kimi Räikkönen gets third position at the end of the day. So I think he does move above us in the championship. Or is that equal on points? Because I think we got third, didn't we, in Brazil. So I think that might actually be equal on points with Kimi Räikkönen. Heikki Kovalainen finishes in fourth with Alonso in fifth. Fisichella in sixth. Suttil in seventh. And Mark Webber getting the final championship point here today. Nelson Piquet and Rubens Barrichello getting in the top 10 but missing out on the points. Where was Rosberg? Rosberg down in 12th, Hamilton 13th and Massa in 14th. That is really, really good news for us. Bourdais in 18th, and it's just really, really frustrating. Really, really frustrating at the end of the day to do all that work. To be in a position where we had that race win in the bag. And then our engine just goes and blows for no reason. At first I thought it was a tyre punch. I was like, what? My tyres has gone. Why is that happening? Then all of a sudden, engine's red and it's gone. We had an engine problem at Valencia and now we've had our second one here in the 2009 season. I mean, it's going to be a long time now until we get an engine failure because we have to wait till F1 2017 for that to happen. But I'm just really, really disappointed. And it's no one's fault. It's not my fault. It's not really the team's fault. It's just a game at the end of the day. But it's really annoying to have that race win pretty much in the bag and setting up a nice battle with Kimi Räikkönen towards the end of the race if that was going to happen and be the case. And unfortunately, it wasn't. And the race win has got away from us. But let's look at a positive note. The Drivers' Championship. And Kimi Räikkönen gets exactly the same points as us. But because we got that race win back in Monaco, that means that we get P5 in the Drivers' Championship. A great result for ourselves in the Drivers' Championship for the first season of Rags to Riches, finishing in P5, which gets us a Sauber seat for F1 2010. We're going to be a Sauber driver for the 2010 season. Hopefully, that will give us a chance to get a good team for F1 2011. More on that, though, in the next episode when we get to F1 2010. But the final championship standings is Jenson Button wins the championship just like in real life, 81 points to Sebastian Vettel 69. He finishes in second, overtaking Mark Webber and Rubens Barrichello in the final race. Mark Webber finishes in third with Rubens Barrichello in fourth. Myself P5 in the Drivers' Championship with Kimi Räikkönen sixth, Felipe Massa 7th and Nico Rosberg in 8th. Looking further down the championship, where did my teammate finish in the end? He finished in 15th position. So well done to Sebastian Bourdais to finish in P15. 15 points on board as well for him. So very happy about that. And look at the Constructors' Championship. We don't change. We stay in P4 and we stay 10 points ahead of Renault as well. So P4 in the Constructors' Championship for the first season of Rags to Riches. A really, really good result. And hopefully we can do better than that with Sauber next season. But we're just going to have to wait and see how the season goes on. But that is it for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Let's head back to the menus for the final time on F1 2009. Well done. A good position in the championship, but there is room for improvement. P5 in the championship with Tor Rosso, so very happy with that. Let's see what else is next on the next couple of screens. We've got an inbox, we've got a season review from Toro Rosso. A fantastic season of driving has proved that our confidence in you was well placed. Tor Rosso couldn't be more pleased with continue working with you for future seasons. We hope you're satisfied with us and that our names will be a force to be feared next season and beyond. Good luck. So Tor Rosso, very happy with my season. I'm very happy with my season. Unfortunately, it wasn't the best way to end the season. I would have loved to get a race win at the end, or even a podium. You know, even a podium would have been pretty decent, but that just wasn't the case. And unfortunately, that engine failure just cost us so much. It didn't cost us anything in the championship. We still got a Sauber seat. If we lost that Sauber seat, I would have been absolutely furious. But we still get a Sauber seat for next season. It just means we've only got one race win to our name as we go into F1 2010, which is, I suppose, is more than I expected. I expected to you know, not even get a race win, not even get a podium this season. I thought it was going to be very, very difficult. But it's been a good season. It's been a frustrating season. This game, I can honestly say, it's got to places where I love it, then I hate it because the AI are just so difficult to drive with. And then I love it again because it just does something to make me laugh, especially driving with this Wii controller as a steering wheel. So it's been a really, really enjoyable time on F1 2009. Yes, I'm sad to say goodbye to F1 2009, but also I'm very, very happy to get rid of it and move on to something a little bit more familiar and with better graphics like F1 2010. So I'm happy to do that. But yes, I am going to miss this game. And it's just unfortunate we couldn't get more race wins. We couldn't get that race win in Abu Dhabi at the end of the day. But we move on to F1 2010 and hopefully we can improve even further in the Rags to Riches career. That is it for the F1 2009 season. If you have enjoyed this episode and if you have enjoyed the season so far, don't forget to smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so for more Rags to Riches content. We've got F1 2010 season kicking off tomorrow. We've also got F1 2017 content on this channel as well, and a whole load of other stuff coming to the channel very, very soon. As always, don't forget to leave your comments in the section below. I feel like there's going to be a lot of comments today thanks to that engine failure. A lot of topics to talk about, so I would definitely be involved in that. If you leave a comment down below, I will reply to pretty much about 98% of them. Sometimes I don't reply, but I can guarantee 98% of your comments I will reply to. So don't forget to leave those in the comment section below. But I will see you next time when we kickstart the F1 2010 season with Sauber. But until then, it's goodbye from me.